Hello and welcome to another episode of Giggly Witches.
Whee!
The crowd goes wild.
Brr, 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 brr.
It's episode. It's still Mercury retrograde. It's
Mhm.
episode 6.
Yes.
I'm so excited. I'm Sadie.
I'm Pam.
Woohoo! Today we're
Woohoo!
gonna talk about Virgo season because when
Mhm.
this episode comes out, it's either the first
I
day
think
or
it's
like the
the
day
day.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right
Yeah.
on time. Look at us thinking ahead. Look at
Look
us.
at
Who would have
us.
thought?
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
Look at us.
And then I told Pam, let's both share some like fun witchy stories
Yes.
because who doesn't love hearing that? But before we get into that, we need to have some silly goofy time. Pam, take it away.
Always. Okay. So I kind of have a few things, and I even just added another thing. So I'm wondering,
Okay.
or I just realized my microphone was so far away. That
Oh
sounds
yeah.
better.
It does sound a lot better. I was like, I can hear you. I don't know.
It was like over there.
I, mine's just sitting on my bed over here.
I wonder if your guy will make an appearance today through
We'll
the
find
middle.
out.
Oh my goodness.
Very
But I even just
exciting.
added another thing. So wait, I meant to bring it down here before I started. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this one because I meant to say it a couple weeks ago and I forgot. But this one is just kind of crazy. What is happening with this one piece of hair back here? Okay. So my friend slash boss at the photo studio that I used to work at, her name's Amy.
Mhm.
Shout out Amy.
Shout out.
Um,
We're just gonna do that. Then I was like, don't interrupt her, Sadie. We're
um
really on the same page today.
well, Monica's gonna be like, this was a distracted episode. Honestly, I was talking to her earlier today and she was like, oh, what are you guys talking about when you record? Because I was like, I have to go, I have to get ready, I have to record. She's like, what are you talking about today? And I was like, oh, like Virgo season and like some witchy stories. And she was like, she was basically like, so you don't have a structure today, is what you're saying.
We're gonna see how this
I was
goes,
like,
Monica.
no, we don't. So anyway, I haven't seen her like all year. My friend boss Amy.
Oh, okay.
Um
I was like,
and
your mom? I was like, that's
and
not true. Okay,
we
sorry.
just
Go.
like kept missing each other, things weren't aligning, etc., etc. And then
Mhm.
she's like, I have something for you. I've had it literally since December 2023. I have for you. Finally gonna give it to you. I'm gonna show it to you right now. If you're not looking, it's a mug that says Pam and it's Florida themed.
Oh my
She
God.
bought this in December and I didn't even know that I was moving to St. Augustine myself. It wasn't even a thought in my mind that I was moving out of Nashville until this summer.
Yeah. Wait, so why did was she just visiting
No, that she literally,
Florida?
no, she found this at like an antique shop, like, like a thrift store here in Nashville that she was working
Oh
for.
my God.
How crazy is that?
Synchronicity. And then
And I
she
was like,
forgot to give it to you until now.
well, we just haven't even seen each
Okay,
other.
universe, or haven't seen you,
Yeah.
whatever.
How crazy is that?
That's crazy. That's a really
Yeah.
good
The
synchronicity.
sticker on it, because it says Pam on the mug.
Yes.
And it says the tag on it just says Pam went to Florida and all she got was this mug. So
Our
I
Pam's gonna go to Florida and get a whole new life.
yeah, so I thought that that was really crazy.
It's crazy.
Um and then okay, so then I'm like there's so many things on my silly goofy list right now
I love that. Give us
that
another one.
I don't know
Abundance.
how much. Oh, abundance. That made me just think. I do really want to say how, like, I always do these new and full moon Instagram lives, but there was
Mhm.
something about last night that just felt so good. And I'm so thankful for everybody that was there live and for everybody that watches the replay. It just was really great. It felt really good.
Shout out. Burr, 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 burr.
When you do it, you sound like Blue's Clues. So, like, you
I
miss.
did that one. I did right. It's a little off. Wait, do it again, then I'll do it after you because I'm trying to do what you're doing. It's like, goose. Wait, you do it again and then I'll do it.
Brr, 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 brr.
Oh, I gotta go down.
Yeah. Yeah. You go like
I
brr, brr,
heard it.
brr.
I went. I was trying to do that one.
Oh goodness.
Shout out.
Yeah. Um, okay, I do also have a PSA, a PAM
Oh,
service
a Pam
announcement.
service announcement.
Yeah, for this week.
Mhm.
And it's not necessarily me asking for things. Actually, it
Okay.
is asking me for things. It's asking me as asking, it's me asking,
Mhm.
when you're on hold and
Mhm.
then the robot lady comes on and is like, "Thank you for holding. Your call is very important to us. Please continue holding." And you're just
Yeah.
like, I don't know what it is, but it enrages me.
Because it sounds like the phone got picked up. So you
Yes.
go, oh, and then it's that, and then the music goes back.
And
And
they
then you
just are
keep, it's
telling you to keep
like you're
holding, and
edging.
you're like, it is like you're edging.
And you're just like, please, God.
Well, also, it's like they stop it, they stop the hold music to tell you to
Right.
keep holding. And you're like, right, but that's what the hold music was
It's
telling
it's
me
like
to do.
I'm aware I'm still holding.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Like,
You know, I was on hold last night, funnily enough, that we're talking about this. Um, because I'm getting a new phone.
very exciting.
Um, and anyways, I needed my like pin or whatever to transfer my number. And the hold music was the Beatles. And I was like, do you guys have
Interesting.
commercial permission to play the Beatles on your hold line? I was like, I love the Beatles. I was like, this is great. And then she picked up halfway through the song. I was like, thanks a lot, Sarah.
That's so wild that you said that too, because she just popped into my head. Sorry, I have this one piece
I
of
hate
hair
that.
and I can feel
Mhm.
it and I don't know where it is.
I always get like one like stuck like in between my eyelashes. And so I'm like going
Same.
like this because
Yeah.
it's not like an eyelash, it's like a hair. And I'm
Yeah.
going like this and nothing is.
Anyway, it's crazy that you just said the Beatles because again, we're gonna shout someone out. Denise. We love
Burp,
Denise.
burp, burp, burp.
So close. So close.
I
Um,
can't do it without hearing it. Okay.
but I always think of Denise whenever the Beatles comes up because um she just that's like she has always said that at her like funeral she wants Let It Be to be played. And for some reason I was literally just thinking about her and then you said the Beatles. And I was like, wow, that was weird timing.
I have a crazy story that also involves the Beatles recently.
Okay.
Also,
Also,
apparently, no, so I did a tarot reading for like a client that I've read for a number of times over the past like years.
uh-huh.
Um, shout out.
Shout out. You know who you are.
No, you do the noise because I can't
Oh,
do it.
brr, 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 brr.
There you go. And so I have like pretty good boundaries, like spirit boundaries, like but sometimes when like I see the name pop up, like so and so ordered a reading, like things just kind of rush in that moment, and I'll kind of like
Uh-huh.
take note and like save it for later. Or if I know I'm about to do the reading, stuff will kind of start coming in, and I'll be like, this is random. I think it's for my next client. So this was a tarot reading. So, I kind of distinguish between like a psychic reading and a tarot reading. Of course, psychic messages come through, but I don't try
Right.
to like go as deeply into it, right? Well, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go for a walk and then do this person's tarot reading.
Okay.
And when I was on my walk, I I just have like I have YouTube music because when you get YouTube Premium, like it comes with the music too.
Yeah.
I'm no longer a Spotify girly, but anyways, love YouTube Premium. But anyways, they like auto create these playlists for you or whatever. And so I clicked on like my new auto playlist that like I didn't create and it just made for me. And the first song, um, oh no, what first happened is I was picturing the sun tarot card like in my mind as I was kind of like walking out the door to go on my walk around the circle. And I was like, the sun, okay. I'm like, I'm about to do a tarot reading in the sun tarot card with the little baby,
Yeah.
on the horse or whatever. And then I go to my like auto playlist that like refreshes every day. And I never like have searched the Beatles on my YouTube music. Like it's fairly newer for me, whatever. But the first song was Here Comes the Sun by
Weird.
the Beatles. And so I was like, oh, that's weird. Cause I kind of like saw the sun card and I kind of like thought like, oh, here comes the sun. And then like I was like there and I was like, oh my God, weird synchronicity. And so when I sat down to do the tarot reading, I always like pull the cards and then I'll start like a voice recording after. And sometimes I'll like jot down notes or whatever of like things that pop into my head. And so I did not pull the sun card, but I just felt called to share that. And
Yeah.
and I'm always like, it's like a heart. I don't know if you've had this in readings yet, but like when you feel a baby energy, like it's a little bit like, I don't want to say it if it's not true
Yeah.
or, I don't know, like I'm always like a little careful with
Of
that.
course.
And so I just kind of like quickly, I was like, well, before I even pulled cards, like this song, and I was picturing the sun card, and I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling baby energy, or maybe just like a new
Thing.
idea or something.
Yeah.
I kind of just like breezed past it, and then, but in my mind, the whole reading, I'm thinking of like new baby, like this,
Yeah.
this is about that. But she messaged me back, and she was like, yeah, we just found out like that we're pregnant, like
Oh my
like
God.
happy. And I was like,
That's so crazy.
and that's my story of the Beatles, and it was so cool. That was a
I
couple
love
weeks
that.
ago. Yeah, it was crazy. It was so cool. So shout out. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have more silly goofies?
Um, I have one more, and then I can talk about maybe the other one that I was just gonna add later in the episode during like witchy story time.
Okay.
So this is just kind of funny, and then I have a follow-up question for you.
Oh, okay.
So I just did a session with this woman named Sarah because I saw her on social media and she's like very informative. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, we'll see what it's about.
Hmm.
And she was like, okay, like I'm gonna tune into like your soul, and then it gives
Oh
me
yeah,
like
what kind of session was it? Like a psychic?
it was a psychic mentoring session.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, that to clarify.
You're like a
Um,
session. I
a
was like, what
session.
kind
In
of
my
session?
brain, I'm like, I know what that means.
Let us in, Pam.
Yeah. And I know it's so funny because sometimes I say things and like in my brain I know that I have all the info and I just like assume everybody else has context.
My brother used to do that all the time, where it was like half the sentence was inside his
Yep,
brain
that's how I
and then the
talk.
second half. So I'm pretty good at it now, being like, is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, I
But
always
I
do
had an
that.
ex-boyfriend that did that a lot too, where I was like, babe, I don't know what you're talking
Half
about. And then he
the
get mad at me and I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I'm psychic, but I can't read your mind. Those are different things.
yeah. Or I'll do where I'll be like, well, okay, well, actually, and then like, but in my head, I'm like having the
Yeah,
conversation.
it's happening.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know what? Actually, I'll just like talk about that, and then and I do like half of the conversation in my head. Anyway, so
Okay,
I did this,
Sarah psychic session.
yes, and she was like, so then your soul will like give me an image like symbolically of what it looks like, and she was like, okay, like I'm seeing a lion head, but it's got like
Mm.
fins and a tail, and then she was like, honestly, it actually kind of looks like a Pokemon. And I was like, no
Oh,
way. That's so cool. And so I Googled lion head fish Pokemon.
uh-huh.
And what came up was Vaporeon.
Okay.
I'm not very familiar with Pokemon. I don't know if you are, but
I was in fourth grade. That was a while ago. We all had our binders and we would trade cards at
oh my
recess.
God.
I think we still
I,
have a shoebox of Pokemon cards
oh
around
my God. I'm
here.
sure you could probably sell those.
Yeah.
Um, but
But I don't know
anyway,
that one.
so it literally looks like it's got like this face and it's got this big like outside. It almost looks like a mane, but it's like very
Uh-huh.
obviously like fish fin-esque.
Hmm.
And then it's got like a tail. And I just thought that that was really funny and also really cool because she was like, you're very like fire and water oriented. And I just did it today in my mentorship session with Hannah,
Hmm.
who was on in the Akashic Records episode. Um,
Shout out Hannah.
burn, burn, burn,
Burr, burr, burr,
burn.
burr. Yes, I'm getting it.
That was good. That was a lot better. Um, and so
I'm very
Sarah was
coachable.
Sarah had said, like, I'm feeling like the need for you to be like physically connected to water while you're like learning how to use your gifts more. She was like,
Mm,
this, she's like, I'm like, the feeling that I'm having is like, I need to be in the water. I need to be in the water. And I was like, well,
yeah.
coincidentally, I'm moving to Florida because I feel, she was like,
Yeah.
you feel both inside and out like you're dehydrated, like your soul is dehydrated, like it
Oh,
needs the water. And I was like,
yeah.
well, it's funny you said that because I feel that way and I'm moving back to the ocean because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I just did that today where I was like, it's like answering I was like doing a mediumship mentorship today and my hands were like in this like cup of water.
Ah,
And I was like, I can't tell if this is helping or not, but I mean like I'm getting the answers. So
yeah.
this was kind
I
of
mean,
interesting and
you could
cool.
also try to get like maybe some crystal bracelets that are like water energy
Yeah.
or like a pendant, like something like that too could
Yeah.
work
Like
really well.
wear this like Larimar one a lot,
Oh, I have
but
my Larimar ring. That's my favorite.
I love it. That's so pretty,
It
that
was my
ring.
mom's.
Wait, this isn't the right one. This one.
Larimar is like perfect, like ocean
Yeah.
energy.
But I
Yeah.
kind of want like I don't know, do you ever feel like you're not connected to like this piece anymore and you want like like you need like a different one? Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so that was mine. So anyway, my follow-up question to all of this
Hmm.
is what do you think your soul would look like?
Mm. Okay, I'm gonna answer that in a moment, but first, I just want to really quick tell you something.
Hmm.
In Singapore,
Yes.
there's a famous statue of the merlion.
Merlion. Oh, I love that. That sounds like
And when I went to Singapore, like this was so fun. I went to Singapore all by myself for a weekend almost exactly a year ago because it was right after my birthday. And I just needed to do a visa run. I had to go out, get out of Bali for a few days and come back.
yeah.
And like Hawkeye didn't need to leave yet. So I was like, no, I'll just go by myself. Like, whatever. I think I don't know, whatever. I was like, no, no, I want to go by myself. So I went to Singapore. It's so beautiful there. Singapore is like a city state. Like it's just the city.
Yeah.
But it's so beautiful. It's so cool. It's got the famous airport there,
Yes.
with like the huge waterfall and stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. The architecture is insane. It's a very like modernistic city, but then there's also these like old temples and there's also like I went to Chinatown and whatever. But like one of the places to like see is, this Merlion, right? And so it's so hot and humid there. And I'm walking all over this city. And I actually bumped into, this was so crazy. I had made a friend in Bali, these two guys,
Hmm.
just like working at a cafe. Like one of them walked up to me and was super friendly and like whatever. We like hung out a couple times in Bali. And then one of them was also in Singapore for a visa run. And I was in Chinatown in Singapore and I hear Sadie, Sadie. And I was like, what the hell? Like, that is the weirdest feeling when you are in a different country and you hear your
Yeah.
name and you're like, I don't know anybody. I know three people. How is, anyway, so we ended up, and it was like more in the morning. So we ended up spending the whole day together and it was so much fun. But anyways, we decided to walk to this Merlion Park, but it was like, I don't know. I saw it on multiple travel blogs, whatever. And then we walk
Yeah.
up to it, and there's this little tiny statue of him. And I was like, is that it? And my friend was like, no, that's just the sign that shows you where to go to see that. I thought it was like this little tiny merlion.
Oh my
But then it
God.
was like this big, it's like this big, huge lion head with a mermaid tail, as you can imagine.
Yeah, I'm
And it's a
looking at
fountain,
it.
like, yeah. Does
Yeah,
that
that's
does that
kind of
resonate
how
with
it
you? Does
looks
that look
like.
like you? Does that
Yeah,
look like your soul?
kind of. That's so cool.
Maybe you need to go to Singapore. You
Well, I
should
was
see what
just
your
like,
astrocartography is
that's what
saying.
I was like. If you saw me, I was just like, oh, and then I started typing. I was like, I'm still listening, but I was like, let me see if I can look up my
Yeah.
astrocartography, but I always
Okay.
forget that I have to
My
sign into this
soul.
thing.
Hmm. I don't know. I
I
feel
know
like
it's a
on the
loaded
spot.
question.
Okay, use your psychic powers. Let me put you on the spot. What do
Okay,
you think my
well,
soul looks like?
immediately what came to my mind was like Bubbles from the
Okay.
Powerpuff Girls.
Oh my
I'm
God, I was
thinking,
thinking pink like that. I was like pink, definitely. I was like a pink version of something.
yeah, maybe like if Bubbles was pink,
Oh, Bubbles is the pink one.
she's
Bubbles is
blue.
the blue one. I
Yeah.
was thinking pink, which I don't remember
The
which one's
Bloss
which.
is Blossom.
Oh, Blossom.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Powerpuff Girls that much, I'm gonna be
Oh my
honest.
God, I loved the Powerpuff
I
Girls.
thought they were awesome,
Yeah.
but I don't know what I was watching instead. Couldn't tell you. I was probably reading. I got grounded from my books a lot at that age.
Yeah. Um, hmm. Let's see.
I'll think about it too. Hmm. I don't know. I'm trying to, I guess I'm thinking of like an animal, but it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be an animal.
No, I did just see like a flower,
Hmm.
like a yellow flower.
That's my mom.
Really?
Yellow roses.
Mm,
That was her favorite flower. Anytime I see yellow.
I don't know. I'm also on under pressure now. Under
Okay,
pressure.
everybody, comment below what you think my soul is. They're gonna be like a black hole.
No.
No, I think I'm really thinking about it. I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to do with your birth chart, but I'm like fire and earth pretty
Yeah.
exclusively. So I feel like maybe like the Tasmanian devil.
Oh my God, I love that. You know, they have them at the Nashville Zoo. We have
I didn't
Tasmanian
even know that
devils.
those were real animals.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're from Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, Tasmania. Yeah. But I thought
Yeah.
they were just a cartoon for the longest time.
Yeah.
I loved the Tasmanian devil. He's crazy.
So
That's how
does
I
my
feel on the
mom.
inside.
Yeah. That's like
That's
what
so
I think
funny.
that's her favorite
I
Looney
have
Tune.
an incredible, I think it's in my storage unit. I'm like looking around. I have an incredible it's like a bedazzled shirt that's got
Oh my
flames on
God.
it and it has a Tasmanian devil on it. I don't know
I
where I
love
got it from.
that.
Probably from like Dolls Kill or something. But oh my God, yeah, I love the Tasmanian devil. I feel like that would maybe be part of my soul essence.
I love that. That sounds perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's all my silly goofy. What are your silly goofies?
Okay, so I have to ask you a question, and if the answer is no, then you have homework
Okay.
for next week. Have you been watching Love is Blind UK, the new one?
No, I haven't. I watched the first like US season and then I was like, that's enough for me, I think.
I watched the first US season. I was obsessed with it. Fun fact, my best friend Haley, because it was in Atlanta, that's where she lived at the time. She got cast on that show and then she got nervous and she was like, "No, I don't want to do it." And they were like, "Come on," like they like kept calling her, kept calling her. And I was like, "Don't you think because what they do for that show, or at least they did it that first round, is they have you take tons of personality tests
Hmm.
and things like that. And then they try to like find your match. So
Yeah,
there was like strategy to that. And I was like, don't you think they really want you because they found someone you're super compatible with and you're like, aren't you curious about that? But she backed out of it and it was the very first season. And I'm like, imagine if she would have been on that first season. My life
crazy.
would be so different now. I'm just kidding.
It would be so different.
I would have rode those coattails all the way home.
So yeah, I mean,
No, but I watched that first season. I was obsessed with it, but I just never, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of, I don't know. I just never remember to go back to shows and watch more. I haven't seen any seasons since. But then I just love UK reality
yeah.
TV. It's so much better. Like Love Island UK is my absolute favorite. I don't watch a ton of reality TV, but I was like, okay, Love is Blind UK. I bet that's really good. I just like listening to British accents. I like the funny way
Yeah.
they like say like, oh, I'm a mug or pie off or what. I don't know. I just love that shit. I love it. I want to eat it
Yeah.
for breakfast. And so, anyways, I started watching Love Island or not Love Island, Love is Blind UK.
Yes.
It's so good. It's so sweet. I love Love is Blind because not everyone like looks the same. Like they have like real people on it. I feel like
Okay.
Love
Yeah.
Island, like everyone just like looks like an influencer. Like they don't look the
Yeah.
same, but everyone just like the hottest of the hot
Yeah.
conventionally, you know? And like Love is Blind, like everyone's still like hot and gorgeous and everything, but they're more like real people.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
know
I
what
know
I
what you're
mean?
saying.
They're
Yeah.
still definitely only picking conventionally attractive people, but like there's more realness, I think, in it.
Variety. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, my point being, there I'm gonna say so many. I think there's two, but there's so many witchy girls on the show.
Really?
Yeah, there's two.
That's a lot.
But that's a lot.
That is a lot.
And um like I always like I have no self-control. Like as soon as I start watching a show, I'm like I look them up on Instagram and it's like spoiler alert, you know. But
Yeah.
I always know Love Island who's gonna like win that season the moment I start a new season. I can't help myself. Um, but anyways, like the two people that kind of like a little bit mentioned it on the show, right? Where I was like, oh, I'm gonna look them up. They both like had it in their Instagram bios, like now I'm not gonna remember their names. One of them was Nicole, and then the other one's name is I can't remember, but I started following her. But it said like moon meditation and manifestation in her in her
Mm,
Instagram bio. And I was like, that's so cute. Like, look at us, little witches taking over the world.
that's
It
so
made me so happy.
crazy. I love that.
Okay, so the rest of this we're gonna have to do you think you're interested in watching this show so we can talk
I can
you
watch
know what?
it.
I'll just tell you about it.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. Not really, but anyone that is listening that has watched Love is Blind, let me know if you want it to look. Okay, Sam from London is one character we need to talk about. He
Okay.
sucks. He sucks. He's very insecure. My heart goes out to him. Like he's so insecure, but he just sucks.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying, but at the same time you feel bad for him, but like he has like pick me energy. Like he's
Okay.
like it's super annoying and he's very performative like whatever. But that's fine. Whatever. We're moving on from that. We have to talk about okay, you have your computer right there. Just type
Yes.
in Freddie the funeral director.
Oh no.
It will pop up. And if it doesn't, put Freddie Love is Blind UK. Oh my good fucking lord. This man is so fine and he is so
Funeral
cute.
Freddy.
Freddie the funeral director from Love is
Someone
Blind
called him
UK.
Funeral Freddy. There's a Reddit thread on it.
He's so cute. I want to marry him. I love him. So I wanted to record this as my final will and testament. If I die, I want you to send me to Freddie, the funeral director,
Okay, he is
and have
cute,
him
but
take care of
also
me.
is his face lopsided?
No,
Okay.
I
Perhaps
don't know.
it's just the angle of this photo.
I didn't notice that on the show. But not only is he cute, okay, but he's so I love his
Nice.
personality. Just he's just a cutie and he also is super hot. And I'm not usually into like super chiseled guys. I actually
Uh,
like guys that are a little pudgy actually, but they got to the villas and he took off his shirt. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. I've never seen something like that before.
oh my God.
Chiseled. Chiseled. Unbelievable. Also,
Insane.
yeah. Um,
He's a very British haircut.
oh my God. I am having a little bit of trouble with that. I get like really intense crushes. TV personalities.
We talked about this. I
Freddie,
can't
if you're
remember what
listening,
episode.
I don't think they release we don't we didn't they didn't release the final episodes yet. I'm not done with what's there, but I think Netflix has been doing this shit where they release half of a season and then the second half later.
Yeah.
Pisses me off. I'm like, Netflix, I'm here to binge you. Don't do this to me. So we don't know who ends up getting married, whatever. But the girl he's with is giving Love is Blind season 1 Jessica vibes. Just
Okay, because I
wishy-washy.
just opened this Reddit thread and the first comment is
Spoiler
he's
alert.
literally perfect. She is crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck this bitch. Ready.
I
I'm
remember
here. I'm
Jessica. That
ready.
was, yeah. And it says, Kat and her are the mean girls who bullied people. Oh, and her friends. Kat and her friends.
Oh, okay. I haven't gotten to the part where they meet the friends and stuff. But anyways, she doesn't deserve it. And that's what I have to say about that. I also actually just remembered. I watched Netflix, a lot of Netflix this weekend, I guess. Last week I was studying for like 12 hours a day,
Oh
so
my
I just
God, yeah.
needed to veg out this weekend. Um, I know we all hate or we all love to hate it, and I'm with you. Emily in Paris. Have you watched Emily in Paris?
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah. So
I
I
love it.
caught up on the that's new too. The new
Okay, I
episodes
haven't
dropped.
seen the new episodes.
They're doing the fucking thing where they dropped half of the season and then half of it is in a month from now. And I'm like, a month from now, I'm going to be traveling again. I'm going to forget that Netflix exists. And they left it off at a really infuriating. I don't know how to say that word.
Oh my God, you should have
Infer
seen me last night. I couldn't say visualizing.
so yeah. But Emily in Paris also kind of annoys me while I watch it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not good,
Yeah,
but it's amazing.
but it's amazing. It makes
Yeah.
me want to go live in Paris. Not live there, but I want to go to Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you happy to be in
Um,
Paris? Oui.
Emily in Paris.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope. I just started talking. One thing
I
about me,
think
I'm
it's
always gonna
Cardi
go with it.
B. I think that it's
Oh,
Cardi B, and it was all over TikTok. I can't believe you haven't seen this. I wonder if I could find it really quick. Oh my God, I forgot my phone was plugged in. Um, oh my God, look at this little otter. Oh my God, look at this little pig.
oh, oh, good job swimming. If you're listening, we're watching a video of a pig swimming in a pool.
Okay, I'm gonna save that. Um, are you? Let me get it.
Are you happy to be in Paris?
We.
We. Yes, that. Okay, also, this is my last thing, and then we'll get into Virgo season. This isn't
Okay.
a silly goofy. This
Serious.
is a PSA, actually, I think.
Uh,
Kind of.
yeah.
So
A
last
public
week,
Sadie announcement.
this is a public Sadie announcement. We've got a Pam service announcement and a public Sadie announcement. It fits for both of us.
Yeah.
Okay, my PSA. So last week I was like so busy and I'm starting this new job that is gonna just fill up my schedule a lot. I'm gonna be
Hmm.
busier and I hate being busy. I don't like being busy. I'm a slow living kind of girl, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and so I was like, how do I be less busy? And then my little like screen time notification popped up on my
Mm.
phone and I was like, that's a lot of hours.
Yeah.
So I deleted social media off my phone,
Ooh.
every app, Threads, TikTok, and Instagram. Those are the three. Oh, I also deleted Facebook, even though I don't really go on that one. All I have on my phone is YouTube because I'm not like a scroller on YouTube. It's not a habit. I am not busy at all. I have a full schedule and I have so much time. I had no
Really?
idea.
I
Yeah.
had no idea. I was gonna respond to your Instagram story, but you don't have replies on. I
Oh,
forgot about
really?
that. Yeah.
Oh, does it do that if I deleted the app?
I don't think so.
That's weird.
But
I don't want it to be like that. I want people to reply. I'll try to fix that.
um because you posted a photo of you with the hair foils in,
Oh yeah.
and I was gonna respond to be like, what radio station are you listening to?
I'm glad you could tell me now. That's a good
Yeah.
joke. That's my tinfoil
Tin
anti-government
hat.
corruption
Yeah.
hat. But yeah, it has been life
Game
changing
changer.
to delete those damn apps off my phone. And I just got a new phone. And so what I'm gonna do, because I switched, this episode is not sponsored by Verizon, but I switched to Verizon because they were like, new phone if you come with us. So I was like,
Yeah.
I really want a new phone. And they have a really good international data
Yeah.
plan. So I was like, oh, perfect, because then my phone will work while I'm traveling. Um, so anyways, I didn't have to trade in my phone to get the free phone. So I was like, I'm gonna keep this phone. It'll be my social
Oh,
media phone that I hide and don't
yeah.
have with me 24/7. That's only a Wi-Fi phone. Because it's really annoying to delete and re-download the apps every time you want. Like, because like once a day I'll go on and like check
Yeah.
it or post some stories or whatever. It's really annoying. You have to like log back into all of your accounts and stuff. So I'm like, this is great. I'll have a social media phone.
Yeah. It's like a work phone.
Yeah, that it's like I check it like once a day, and then my regular phone, I'm never gonna have social media on it again. I'm telling you, I can't believe the things I'm getting done, the things I'm doing. And I also have like 7 calls a day, and I'm still like, oh, I went for 2 walks today, and I also did my workout, and I meditated, and I journaled, and I tapped, and I read by the pool for lunch, and I'm just like, my life
Wow.
is so full. I didn't
That
know how
life is
much
so,
it was sucking out of me.
yeah. It takes so much time. It really does. Especially TikTok. I
Yeah.
get lost on there.
I get lost in it. Like in the morning, I'll set my alarm. I love getting up early and having lots of time before my work day, but then I'll sit there on my phone and I don't even notice that like a full hour has passed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, like I woke up early to like do things like
Mm-hmm.
meditate and stuff, not to like scroll on fucking TikTok. And then
Yeah.
I do the same thing at bedtime where I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to go to bed early. And then I'm like, it's midnight. I got in bed at 9:30. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
I
I thought 20 minutes had passed. Like,
literally,
it's
it's
crazy.
crazy. It really is crazy. And honestly, that's like, I think part of the reason why I've been so bad at posting for my business, because I'll get on there to be like, okay, I'm gonna
Yeah.
make stories. I'm gonna like post a
And then you
reel
end
or
up,
something. And then I see something and I get distracted and I end up scrolling and I'm like, I haven't even posted my stuff yet. And now I gotta go. Like now I'm
yeah.
like late for a meeting or I gotta go to a appointment, like
Yeah. And
whatever.
literally every time I open my phone, I'd be like, oh, I need to use my calculator. But I open the phone and my body just clicks
Yeah.
Instagram. And then it's 20 minutes. And I'm like, why did I open my phone again? Like, it infuriates me. And so I
Yeah.
keep using that word today that I can't say. Infuriates me.
Yeah.
Infuriates me.
Yeah.
So that's been literally life changing.
I think we
I
should
did
bring
it on
back blackberries for
what?
multiple reasons because then all you did was play Snake. And then
I love that
also it
game.
had the ping feature, and I would love to just be able to ping people again.
Yeah.
Do you know
I
how
miss that little
annoying I
red
would?
light that would flash when you had a notification.
Yeah. Do you know how annoying I am when I have a ping feature? It's my favorite thing in the whole world. I'm like,
That was crazy.
Sadie
We were all
hasn't
just
answered
little
me. Ping, 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 ping,
Beep, 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 beep,
ping, ping, ping,
beep.
ping.
I was thinking about that too the other day. Blackberries with a full keyboard. You know what
Yeah.
I still think is I can't remember how this worked. I don't know if we talked about this the other day or if it was with somebody else, but like T9 texting on a flip phone, I could write a full paragraph in 30 seconds.
So fast.
Less than, no,
Kids these
yeah, that's
days,
wrong.
you
In
have no
like
idea
literally
what you
two
have.
seconds. I would literally just slide my thumb around and it would like have everything I meant to say. And I can't remember how I knew how to do that. I don't remember how it works. That's just crazy.
What do you mean? You just click the buttons until you get to the letters.
But the T9 was like a predictive thing. So you would just, I could do it so
Mm.
fast. It was way faster than typing the full keyboard on Apple. I remember when I got my first iPhone and I was like, this takes forever. This is so annoying. Where'd my T9 go? I remember that. It was like hard to adjust. I literally like go like just slide my phone like this and it'd be like 4 sentences sent off like in a second. Like I just that was crazy.
What a
I
time.
don't remember how it worked. Okay. Okay, let's talk about Virgo season.
Okay.
What do you got?
Okay.
Back to you, Pam. Pam's in
Thanks.
his studio.
Thanks, Sadie. Honestly, those are some of my favorite videos to watch is like when they send the poor weather guy out like in the middle of a hurricane and it's like he's standing there like there's this one video of this one weatherman. I think he's like a millennial. Or he's like a Gen Z. Like he's got to be really young because it's like snowing and it's freezing and I don't know where he is, but he's
Probably
standing there.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, he's standing there so cold and he's like, in case you were wondering, it's still cold outside. I know because I'm out here. You're just like, okay.
Like, thanks.
Yeah. Back to you. Um, but anyway, wow, I've had like three memories of like Denise pop up because Pokemon, her kid who's like my age was like obsessed with Pokemon. And there was one day where my family and her family, I can't remember why this happened, but we went to like the news, like while it was being recorded. And
What
we
kind of,
like
oh, just like the
the
nightly
news.
news?
Yeah, like the morning news. And we saw that the
Oh.
weatherman was wearing slippers.
Oh,
Because he like that's not on the screen. And
right.
we
Wow,
thought
the
it
more
was so
you
funny.
know.
The more you know.
It's like the modern day on Zoom. We're all wearing sweatpants with our nice shirts. Not us,
Exactly.
we're wearing
I was
sweatshirts
just gonna
too,
say not
but
us. Anyway, Virgo season
mm-hmm.
is Virgo is a mutable earth sign. It's ruled
Mm-hmm.
by Mercury. And it rules the sixth house of physical health and fitness, routines, work, being of service to others, and like how you analyze and process things.
Mm-hmm.
Does that resonate with you, Miss Virgo?
I'm a Virgo. Yeah. Oh my God, my birthday.
Is
My
next
birthday's on
week.
a Thursday. Next week's episode will be, it's gonna be a birthday episode. Burr, 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 burr.
Hooray!
Trying.
um, so I'm gonna put this at the bottom here, this one note, because then it feeds into my other thing that I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So Virgo characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to be very organized and structured. This is like, I guess they say kind of like high vibrational. I don't always love saying that, but like the the lighter side of Virgo is like
Mm-hmm.
very organized and structured. They're very mindful of like taking care of their bodies. They are typically very, very friendly, very social. They connect very naturally with other people. They're ruled by Mercury, which is, chatty, so
Hmm.
they can yap.
Interesting. Hmm.
And they're typically very efficient. Um, and then on the like flip side of that, it could kind of go a little too far where you're like too pragmatic, too overthinking, and like a
Mm-hmm.
little bit uptight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I never really like resonated with the super like the stereotype of like Virgo being very like clean and
Yeah.
organized, as you can see off screen, but Pam can see it, my pile of stuff in the background. But I am like such a systems person. I have a
Yeah.
crazy attention to detail. That's why I worked
Yeah.
in visual merchandising for a long time, because my attention to detail, like I see everything.
Yeah.
Um and I feel my best when my space is clean and organized. I'm just not good at keeping it that way. But it does affect me a
Yeah.
lot when it's not. And in different ways it manifests, like in like work stuff. Like I'm very like organized, like my computer is like pristinely organized, like more stuff like that, I would say, than
Yeah.
like physical. Um, but yeah. but I always had a problem with that. I'm like, no, I'm like the messiest Virgo ever. But also, sun sign is one thing. For
Yeah.
me, I always resonated way more. Once I found out, I didn't know for a long time about like the whole chart. I just thought, I don't know, when you're like younger, like there's like the horoscope in the newspaper,
Yeah.
so you only know about like the sun sign. But then when I learned about my moon and my rising, I was mind blown because then all those three together painted the picture that was like exactly me,
Yes.
you
Yeah.
know?
Also, with those horoscopes, I think you're more supposed to read for your rising sign,
Rising.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, most of them nowadays will say like look at your sun and rising,
Yeah.
which my rising is Sagittarius and my
Mm,
moon is Aries. Are you Aries moon?
yes.
Yeah. And what's your rising?
Aquarius.
Aquarius. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I mean I am very Virgo in a lot of ways still, for sure. But I feel like it's offset a lot by all the fire in my chart. There's like this inner battle
Yeah.
that I have all the
Where it's
time.
like, okay, like let's like stick to this
Like my
process
Virgo's
and
like, can
then
we just slow down a little?
chill.
And the rest of me is like the Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm always like, thank God, thank goddess for my Virgo that keeps me grounded. I have a lot of Capricorn too, but that's like I think a lot of millennials do. It's like the
Yeah,
generational
generational
spots.
planets.
We all have a lot of Capricorn. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is, I don't know, good for us. Capricorn
Yeah.
energy is good. They're
Yeah.
all good in their own ways, but
Yes. Yeah.
I was thinking about how there's two seasonal transitions I really love. Um, and part of that being because they are like heavy in my chart, probably. But I love like Leo to Virgo season transition. And I love both of these for the same reasons. So Leo to Virgo, so like September or August into September. I
Hmm.
love that seasonal transition. And then I also love Sagittarius into Capricorn season, which
Hmm.
is like December into January,
Yeah.
because I feel like the Leo and Sagittarius energies that precede those two are very like 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 kind of like visionary, almost like dream really, like it's that fire energy, like dream really big, like of
Hmm.
course they're different, but there's that fire energy of like let's dream bigger, like let's like what do I really want, like how do I follow my passions more. There's a lot of like hype energy, and then it's followed by like the Virgo and Capricorn energy that's more grounded, and it's like okay, you got all hyped up, you got all jazzed about this
Yeah.
vision, let's get down to business, and it's like detailed, practical, let's put it into action. So I love these two, like we're in one right now, and then I love the one that comes later, but I also have all of these signs very heavy in my chart, so
Yeah.
that might be why. But I feel like from a practical standpoint, if you're listening to this and you're like okay, it's like we're having this transition right now, what were you dreaming up in Leo season when it comes to, what we talked about, like self-expression and being yourself,
Yeah.
and I don't know, any area of life that was a theme for you. And Virgo season is the time to be like, all right, like let's break it down into like practical steps. Let's get into the detail. You want
Yeah.
that? Okay, how are we going to do it? Because like I feel like the fire energy is just like, yeah, like we can do anything.
100%.
And then we move into these earth energies that are like, yeah, we can do anything, so let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
The fire energy can just dream all day and be a motivational speaker on the stage and be like whoop whoop and never get anywhere. But
Yes.
then we move into these earth seasons where it's like, no, okay, come back down to earth, let's do it then. And I
Yeah.
love that, I love that.
Yeah.
So
No, 100%.
yeah, so I'm excited. What do you feel like was a theme? I'm putting you on the spot, but what do you feel like you want to like take from Leo season into Virgo season from like a practical standpoint, like details you want to like get
Oh,
into that you dreamed
yeah.
up during Leo season?
I really feel like my structures and my like routines um
Mm-hmm.
need a lot of help during Virgo season. Like
Mm-hmm.
going into this Virgo season, I think will be like a big thing for that because I started like creating routines, but I just like and I just need to like really get structured, and that's like my biggest
Mm-hmm.
problem because I think that I could fit so much more into a day than I actually can.
Delete
That's
the
that
apps off your
fire.
phone. I'm telling you, it's like magic. I'm like, I feel like I'm time traveling.
No,
Where did all
literally.
this time come from?
And like I've had to start like booking time into my calendar where I'm like, okay, cool. Like here, I have to travel for this meeting. I need to put the drive time beforehand and I need to put the drive time after.
That's
If I
good
need
though,
to,
because you have time blindness because you have
yeah,
ADHD. So
I
that's
just,
good. You should do that.
I,
Yeah, that's really good.
yeah, I've had to like start like scheduling into my calendar like lunch. Otherwise, I just like go
Yeah.
all day long and I'm like,
I
why am I
started,
so angry? And then it's because you haven't
you
eaten
didn't eat.
anything.
No, I started doing the exact same thing. I started time blocking my calendar in like gray, so it kind of sits behind everything. And I made sure it said like not busy so my calendar can still fill up. But it just says like morning rituals, breakfast and get ready.
Yeah,
And then my work times I put like cash money activities because I don't know, it sounds more fun than like work.
yeah,
And I'm doing sales, so it is. And then I have like lunch and a walk, and then I have like more work time, and then I have my like whatever after dinner
yeah,
or after work rituals and whatever. But that's helped a lot too, where I'm just like,
yeah,
and I have the Notion calendar, so on the top of my computer, it'll like right now it says like record giggly witches. And it says how much time is left of like I always time block way more than enough time because sometimes we sit here for 4 hours. So it says an hour and
yeah,
25 minutes left, which is just like
yeah,
a made up time. But it's really helpful when I'm like doing my morning rituals and I have my computer open with my YouTube meditation and it says like 33 minutes left. And I'm like, oh, okay, great.
yeah,
I have time, or oh, okay, I want to like focus and, do this too, or whatever. It's so helpful.
yeah.
I
That's
need
been
that
really
too.
helpful. So yeah, I think I've been dreaming up a lot of like content ideas, a lot of like things that I want to do for my business, like courses that I signed up
Mm.
for, a million courses that I signed up for. So I think Virgo season is going to be the time to like sit down, organize everything, actually start them, go from there.
This episode is not sponsored by Notion, but we wish it was.
Yes.
But Virgo season is a great time to, okay, I can't put my foot there. Making my computer pop all around. I want to. I'm feeling really antsy right now. I keep sitting in different ways. Um, I don't know what's going
But
on.
you were
I'm
just trying to
like,
get closer to me.
wait, if you're not watching this Virgo season, give yourself the gift of Notion. Give yourself the gift of Notion.
Oh
I don't know
goodness.
what's going on.
I don't know
But it's
either.
also really, like you said, like it's all Virgo season, also a great time for habits. Virgo is very connected to
Yeah.
physical health. So,
Yes.
like, great time to, I don't know, establish any new habits connected to your physical health, whether it's like going on daily walks or yoga or meditation or, I don't know, eating more vegetables or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Virgo season's great, very aligned for that because it's very connected to our health too.
Yeah. And trying to find stuff that like might not be fun, but makes it fun for you. Like I have a really hard
Mm.
time like remembering to move my body. Um, and I was just like, you know what I should do? I have therapy every other week.
Hmm.
And I was like, so I'm gonna test it out this coming Monday. So next week I will report back and let you know how this
Oh,
goes.
yes.
But I have a zoo membership here. And I was like, oh my God, I should walk around the zoo
Yeah.
and just like talk to my therapist. And then I'm
I
like,
love
okay,
that you
like,
have a zoo membership. I love
yeah,
that for you.
thank you. I was very excited about it. And I get a discount at the St. Augustine Gator Zoo. So we should do that when we're
From
there.
your Nashville
Yeah,
zoo
they have like
membership?
sister partner zoos.
Look at us. Who would have
So
thought?
I know, how crazy is that?
Wow.
So we should go when we're down there.
I just think like old people always have a napkin.
I think my great grandma used to have napkins in her sleeve all the
I feel
time.
like
I
old
was
people
just like,
always just have a little Kleenex and they're always just dabbing themselves that are leaking.
Just I ate gluten yesterday and I think
Oh
I can feel
no.
it today. Like my nose is just so stuffy and unhappy. So I
Oh,
think that's what's happening. And I'm trying to drink more water.
that's a big one. Look at the two hands. Look at it. Really should watch these.
I need
You
a
know what?
straw.
I was this is so boring to talk about on the podcast. We'll move past this in one moment. But I was surprised. We have a lot more views on YouTube than I thought. Usually the balance is like way more on audio, but
Oh,
I was like, wow, for just having started a brand new page, like there's still only, I think there's 9 subscribers now.
hell yeah. And I'm
Look
one
at
of them.
us. And and two of them are us. But the views are pretty high for it just being like a brand new account. So I was like, I mean, they're below. Well, actually, at least one of them was over 100. And I was like, wow,
Very
interesting.
nice. Very
Anyways,
exciting.
thanks. Shout out to all of
Yeah.
you. But anyways, Virgo season. Yeah, I feel like whatever you've been dreaming up, what were you thinking about during the new moon in Leo when, you did your manifestation ritual? What themes came up for you for the full moon we just had in Aquarius? What's
Hmm.
just on your mind? What do you want to change? What would be like if you got to December 31st this year and you're like, damn, I can't believe I did that, or like I
Yeah.
manifested that, or I got that done. Like I'm so proud of myself, whether it's just like, like sticking to a new habit that you really wanted to and it's super established by the new year, or it's something like, damn, I started creating content consistently
Hmm.
for my art, or I started writing every day, or whatever it
Yeah.
is. Get into the details this Virgo season and like create yourself little action steps and like get organized.
Yes.
Get after it.
And to get you ready to do that, I'm gonna promote myself a little bit
Yes,
here.
please. You
We
can
really
every
focused.
second of every day.
We did a big thing last night. We're recording this on a Tuesday, so on Monday for the full moon in Aquarius, we did a really big thing, big releasing candle spell
Mm,
on finding the areas where we're maybe like conforming to societal norms a little bit. We're not really
mm,
focusing on living like truly from our heart and like how we
yeah.
what feels good for us. So if you're feeling a little nervous about posting content or um, even changing your diet because of like
Mm.
how like it might be perceived, uh, that we dove into the fears behind that and did a little release. So that's on my Instagram.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be the full moon, even if you listen to this months later, like go
Yeah,
find it.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
and so that will help get ready to like dive into Virgo season to like actually get you ready to start doing the things.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, to go along with that, like I sent out an email because I just had this like it came up for me in my own journaling on the morning of the full moon of just like because Aquarius is very connected to the collective.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was definitely like that's always a theme around that sign. And I was just thinking about how a lot of times we keep ourselves small or we deny ourselves certain things. And it's very like it can be very like me centric. Like I'm
Yes.
scared. What if I fail or I look like a fool or I just can't do it or whatever, right? But like that's not only like a disservice to yourself because you don't get to live that beautiful experience and you don't get to fulfill that dream, but it's also a disservice to the collective. It
Everybody.
really is.
Yeah. I said that
Like,
last night as well, not as
yeah.
eloquently or nicely, but that was a big point I was trying to make too. And I love that you just
Yeah.
said that.
Yeah, I mean it sucks for everyone when you don't write the book or when you don't
Yeah.
post the content or you don't pursue that dream job or you don't go back to school to do that thing that's on your heart or you don't whatever it is or you don't take the trip and meet the people that you would have met if you would have listened to your
Yes.
intuition and go or whatever. It doesn't just suck for you and leave you in a space of like oh, I wonder if it's not the right time. It's not the right time. But the whole world is waiting on you too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brr,
So
brr, brr, brr.
shout out to the whole world. But yeah, so that's really important. And that's something to keep in mind too, because I do think like one of those things that we can take from earth signs that can very easily sway into the shadow side, but is good, is that sort of like pragmatic, like no
Mm,
time for the bullshit.
yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I'm for like we talked about like Miley Cyrus's speech, right? It's that
Mm-hmm.
like she's like, let me in, let you in on a secret nobody else has told you. Like we're scared. That's kind of like a lesson like I feel like you can take from the earth sign energy, like Virgo, Capricorn, like I mean, I feel like Taurus is the one that's like Virgo and Capricorn to me have more in common. I don't know if that's true or not, but
Yeah.
are more known for these things of just being kind of just like get her done type.
Yeah.
And like I'm terrified all of the time. This new job I just got, I was like, I can't do that. I have to go. Like, no, what am I doing here? I don't belong here. I'm so scared. I had to do so many like practice calls and role plays and all this stuff that I was like throwing. I wasn't literally throwing up, but I felt like I was energetically throwing up.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do this. This is so embarrassing, like whatever. But I really wanted this job and it's a really good job and it pays really well and all of these things. And I was like, I was really excited for it. I was like, I really want this, but like I was so uncomfortable applying for it, interviewing it, training for it. Like all of it was so hard. And it wasn't. It was actually all very well laid. I mean, I worked hard for it, but like, oh my God. And so it's just like that. Yeah, it's just like be scared, but
Try.
do it anyway. But try.
Yeah.
But try. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
So
Yay.
this Virgo season, we're all gonna try.
Yeah. Try.
Try.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a background noise and it stopped, but suddenly it feels really silent. Did you hear that?
Yeah. I think it's my air conditioning when it turns on.
Oh, okay. It was like loud and then it got quieter. But I was like, maybe the fan on my computer was on, or maybe I was like, did I get unhooked? I feel like I don't hear something all of a sudden. I don't know
I
whose
feel
house it
like it got
was.
really quiet.
There's a lot of background noises at this house too. But
Yeah.
anyways, so Virgo season. Okay, let's move on to our witchy stories. I don't have no idea how long we've been
I
recording.
don't either. I was just looking at the
Oh,
clock and I was
maybe
like,
only like an hour because
yeah, because I hopped on late.
yeah.
It was like
Oh, we're doing good. I
4:40.
thought it's been like 2 hours.
Same. Honestly, I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be a 3-hour episode.
No, I think
Three
we're doing
hours
pretty good. I
later.
think it's been a little over an hour.
Not
Look at
bad at all.
us.
Go team.
Go team. Okay, tell me your favorite or whatever. I don't know how to categorize it. Tell me your witchy story or
Okay, I was
stories.
wondering if you could go first because I was like, I don't like what kind of witchy story.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I had a different one. Okay, well, I don't know. I didn't know which one to pick. I have a lot. One I was one I was thinking about because it your phone just like pops up random memories and it was like a night in Bali and it was when I went to bury my hair at the beach under a full moon. So if you're new around here, I don't know. You can, if you can see, I have my short hair now, which has actually grown out a lot since I chopped it all off. But it was down like it was like down to my. I
Hmm.
had mermaid hair. It was covering my nips. You know, it was really long.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Like very long.
yeah. So I think I got back to Bali in April or something,
Hmm.
and I just had this urge. I knew I wanted to go get my hair done. I thought I was just gonna fix my like balayage or whatever. And then I had the appointment, and I was like. Like I'm just gonna chop off all my hair. Like I just and like bleach it. I just like had this urge, whatever. So it was so long that he literally tied it in a ponytail and then cut it off and then held up the ponytail. And I was like, oh my God. And then whatever, proceeded to get my hair done. This is it's full circle because I got my hair done today. Isn't that weird how that
Mm.
came up? Um, and as I'm like my ponytail, it's still in the pony holder, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a rat tail hanging there. It's long, it's a long, and it's just sitting on the counter the entire time. I keep looking at it because I'm like, I really want to keep that, you know? I'm a witch. And but I I was like, I can't ask him. He's gonna think I'm but anyways, we get up and I'm like, he's like, you know, I'm standing up and he's like, oh, do you like it? Whatever. I'm like, oh, it's so good. And I'm so obviously glancing over at my hair and he's like, do you want to keep it? I was like, yes, I do.
Yeah.
So I took it and put it in my purse. So fast forward, I was like, anyway, I felt like a brand new woman.
Yeah.
And I like, yeah, I felt amazing. I'm so happy. Now I'm at the stage where I want it to be long again. And I'm like
Yeah.
researching, I'm like, good hair extensions in Mexico because I think that's where I'm gonna go next. And I'm like, they're probably inexpensive there. I've never gotten hair extensions before, but I really want them now. We'll see.
Hannah
One
has
of
them.
those
You can ask her
phases.
questions.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, come home. I've got my ponytail of hair for a long time. Because immediately I was like, I know what I'm going to do with this. I want to go bury it at the beach under a full moon. I knew that's what I wanted to do. I was like, that just feels right. Your hair, it carries all of your energy. It
So much
represents a
energy.
lot. Um, you know, and so a full moon approached after I chopped off my hair and I was like, this isn't the one. So I waited. And then another full moon approached and I thought, just doesn't feel like the one either. So I waited. This ponytail is just sitting in my little closet area. I would like forget about it and then be digging for something and I'd be like, oh yeah, I gotta take care of this. And then finally, the full moon in Scorpio was high in
Mm.
the sky, which is interesting that it ended up being that one. Just so much about transformation, death,
Yeah.
rebirth. And this haircut really represented that for me when I had gotten it done. Now it was months later, but I was like, this is the one. I
Yeah.
just had this feeling. God bless Hawkeye just goes along with what I want to do. I'm like, we got to go to the beach. I'm ready to bury this thing. And it doesn't phase him at all. He's like, okay.
He's like, yeah. All right.
So we go to the beach. I took the ponytail off. I did not bury the ponytail. Don't worry. Just my natural hair. And then I went to the where the water breaks and I dug as deep of a hole as I could with my hands. I wanted to get it really down there so nobody came across it. I did my best, okay? My hair is natural. Anyways, and I buried my hair and I stood on top of the spot where I buried my hair and I like just like basked in the full moon with the ocean like lapping over my feet and just listened to the waves and like meditated. Hawkeye's just standing a few feet away waiting for me patiently. He's just on his phone while I'm doing my little
Yeah.
literally arms spread out just like um so that was one of my witchy stories. That I mean, my life has changed drastically since then. So I guess I
Yeah.
probably did something. I
Yeah.
mean, completely 360. So, or 180 or whatever. 360,
360.
I guess you come down back to the same spot. So that was crazy. But also I wanted to, have we talked about moldavite? I feel
Um,
like we did.
we did because I bought it's just a teeny tiny piece that I
Yeah.
have on a ring. I'm not wearing my rings today. I feel very naked without them. But and that's when I like lost those two retail jobs. And you were like, well, that's why. Let
Yeah,
me tell
maybe
you
we
right
talked
now.
about it. Yeah, I was like, I remember we talked about it, but I don't remember if we
Oh,
talked
we
about it on the
did. Yeah, I
podcast.
don't think on the
Okay,
podcast.
so there was a moldavite craze on the internet,
Yes.
and like I want to say, I feel like it was like during the pandemic. Maybe it was like
Yeah.
later 2020. But I worked at a crystal store, so I bought moldavite before it was a craze, and like, um, and I'm not saying that to be like I knew about it first. I'm just saying like I just want to set this up
At the
because like I
scene.
had no idea what it was. And we got some in at my crystals shop that I worked at. And my boss was like, be careful with that. It's really powerful. It will rip everything out of your life that's not meant for you.
Mm,
It's very transformative. Like if you're gonna buy that,
be
just know.
ready.
Yeah. So naturally I bought it, of course, because I'm like a
Uh,
Tasmanian devil. I'm like, I'm rip roaring ready to go. Let's
yeah.
go, baby.
You know what just came into my mind really fast? Was this too too late for you, but did you watch the Wild Thornberries?
Oh yeah.
You know, Danny, the brother that was like,
That's me when I get the zoomies at night.
yeah,
If I haven't gone for my walks.
yeah. She doesn't have her outside time.
Literally me. I'm like, "Ah, somebody play with me." Um, but yeah, so I bought some and it was like the end of 2019, okay? Um, so I bought this little piece that is actually on my altar back there. And then the pandemic happened, like a month later, and I was like, did I? I was like, did I
Did I
do
do
that?
this? My friend
Because
Allison,
literally, I was so stressed at that job. I was having such a hard time. And literally, I was like, I want to buy this so I can like figure out my job and my life. I bought it, and literally a month later, I was like a non-essential worker, so I didn't have to go to work.
yeah,
And that was basically that all I invested in my first program, and then I invested in more, and I invested in how to be a coach. I invested in how to start a business. Like that was the start of my business. I bought that moldavite a month later. That all kicked off. Crazy. And then when the moldavite craze happened, then I bought more. I bought this necklace, and this is like not a cute pendant at all, but this is moldavite.
yeah,
It is
big
like a
piece.
tiny bit see-through, but not
Yeah,
really. But it's not like, I mean, this is, if you get a really high quality one, they're quite pretty, but just like a raw, like lower grade, I'm saying that with quotes. I don't know, they're not the prettiest thing in the world,
I mean it's a rock.
but I put it on this long chain. I wear it underneath my clothes every day. But the crazy thing about my moldavite is one, that it's changed so much in my life, but I always like not necessarily lose it, but I just like I'll forget about it. And
Mm.
then every time I find it again, I go, uh-oh. Because then a bunch of stuff changes really fast.
Yeah,
Every time. Every time. So I bought that first piece, all that happened that I talked about, forgot about it, found it again, went through a bunch of stuff in my relationship, the whatever, finding out cheating and whatever, whatever, whatever. And I was like, Jesus Christ. And then I think I like lost, like, not like lost it, but just forget it. So like I'll wear this and then one day I'll just forget to like stop wearing it anymore. And I'll
yeah.
like put it away very like without any thought. And it's just like, it's like an automatic response. And then I just like rediscover it months later or years later. And I'm like, what's about to change
What
now?
now?
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm curious when I'm gonna forget about it this time. But I found it again. I didn't even realize that I had it with me after I put everything in my storage unit, but I found it
Yeah,
again. So I didn't travel with my Moldavite all last year, like my first round. And then I came home for Christmas this last year after a year abroad. And I found it and I was like, okay. So I traveled with it this year and all this stuff changed. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna wear this forever because I have a superstition with this piece. So this is kind of funny. But I started doing sales this summer. I was doing a different sales job. Now I have a new one. But my first sales job, I noticed that every time I wore this, I closed every single call. And every time I
oh,
forgot to put it on, I didn't close the call, but it wasn't conscious. I wasn't like, oh, I better put on my lucky
yeah.
necklace. So I closed. It wasn't like that. I noticed the pattern after the fact. And then I was like, I need to start wearing that every day. Isn't that
Interesting.
bizarre?
Very,
Now,
very.
my new sales job, I was wearing this yesterday and I didn't close every single deal, but it was my first day at the new job and I already
Yeah.
closed one. And it's harder to close in this job, much harder. So I was like, Something about this thing.
Interesting.
So that's my crazy moldavite. Moldavite.
You said that earlier too, but I was like, I'm just gonna leave it.
Moldavite.
Yeah.
What's that? My moldavite. Hey, it's my moldavite. Hey, anybody know what my moldavite is?
Oh
It's
no.
the guy back here peeking through the
Yeah.
curtains. He's like, hey, my moldavite. Sadie, hand it over. I don't know what accent that is.
Like New York.
Yeah.
Um, oh my God.
So
That's
those are
really
my
fun.
witchy stories of the day.
Okay. I have a few then that
Okay.
I was thinking
You're
about.
like, okay, now that
Wait, I was gonna say before too, my friend Allison, she tours and she's like in like the end of 2019, she was like, I think like I just need a break from touring, like, but I don't want to take a break. So I'm just gonna like let it happen naturally. And then COVID happened and everybody stopped touring. And she was like, wait, that's not what
that's
I
not what I
meant.
meant.
She's like, did I do this? So it
I
just
know.
made
I
me
was
think of
like,
that too.
it does make me think about like, I don't believe I made the
No,
pandemic
of
happen with
course.
my thing. But if we think about how there's like all these different timelines that follow different trajectories,
Yeah.
I don't think it's impossible to think maybe I shifted into that
This
timeline.
timeline.
That's what I think about. Where I'm like, I don't think I caused the whole pandemic to happen by
Right.
purchasing a moldavite. Obviously, moldavite exists. Moldavite. I keep
You did it
saying
again. It's the
it.
third time.
Molda. Why?
I don't know. It's okay.
It exists everywhere. But yeah, I was like, but that's what, quantum leaps are. It's shifting
Yeah.
into it's shifting sideways into a different
Yeah.
timeline, a different trajectory. And I'm like, that I kind of think happened. As that,
Yeah.
I know that sounds a little crazy too, but I'm like, I feel like there's a Sadie out there that didn't buy the mold of Vite and and maybe she's still working shitty retail jobs. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, tell me your witchy story.
Okay, so I have a couple about two spells that I did. Um, I can't remember if this was earlier this year or late last year, but I think I need to do it again.
Mm,
Um, so I did a money spell, um, and I was like, okay, this is gonna work because I need it to.
mm,
And then the next week after I did this money spell, it's a candle spell that I did.
mhm.
And the next week I ended up getting like three random gigs and I made like $2,500. And I
That's
was like,
a good money spell.
yeah, it was great. So I need to do that
Yeah.
again, I think. Um,
I I just did one recently and the next day I did my biggest um single sale
amazing.
at my other sales job. Yeah, that I'm not doing anymore. But I mean it was like I made a lot of money in that one sale. I was like,
Oh,
oh yeah, I'm like, I need to be doing this every day.
yeah, I know. Every Thursday, I'm like, I should start doing this
That's
again.
why, yeah, I was like, I just need to light all I did was take a small candle and write a dollar
The
amount on
number.
it and lit it in the money. I have like a money and love altar. It's like the same altar, just one side is money and one side's love. And that's all I did. So I let it burn in that corner of the altar, like, and I set a little like intention and took a moment to like meditate there and like visualize it coming through and like felt excited. And then I just went about my day. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It
Um,
works.
and then the other one I did was a truth spell.
Ooh.
Yeah, so there was this
Ooh.
guy. Um, long story short, it didn't end like bad. It was just like not fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, and I had like one last conversation with him and I did a truth spell because I was like, I know that this bitch is always lying to me. Like he's always,
Mhm.
it's not even that he's lying to me, it's that he's lying to himself.
I know that kind of person. They believe what they're
They
saying. They
believe
don't
what they're
think they're
saying.
lying.
And I'm like, I'm literally psychic.
It's
Like I
so
know.
infuriating.
No, Like I can feel, like I know that you're lying.
Yeah.
Um and so I did a truth spell to be like, okay, like help me see like the real truth here. And I got like all the answers I needed and just to be like, okay, thanks. I mean, I was
Ooh,
already
I have a
like,
chill.
okay, thanks. Like I'm done with you. Like this was just like my last ditch effort to like try and even maintain like a friendship.
Yeah.
But that, yeah, that was a really great one. I'll share that. I can share that spell.
Wow. Yeah,
Um,
I don't necessarily need it at the moment, but that's a good spell to have. You should, yeah, I don't know, turn that into a PDF or something. I don't know, like a that's a real I bet a lot of people would like that or turn it into a
yeah,
reel or something. Yeah.
yeah.
It's amazing.
Um, and then okay, I have two more. One's a big thing that I was just told to share from my deity, and the other one is just like a cutesy little thing that like made
Very
me
cutesy, very mindful, very demure.
my deity has opinions on that. Um that's I'll talk about that after. Um but it is very cutesy, the thing that I'm about to share. And it was just like one of those things where, especially, I guess, like maybe when you're newer to like mediumship and like connecting to people that you actually knew, um,
Mm.
it was just like one of those things that like kind of made me emotional, even though it's like such a silly little thing. So I was like in a psychic mentoring session and I was like, I really want to start like diving more into like my mediumship side of things and like working on
Hmm.
that. So I wanted to see like how I can start working like with my grandpa and like a few other people. And I was like, I have a very distinct
Mm.
um memory of like what he smells like what his cologne smells
Mm.
like. And I was like, I don't even know what the cologne is. And then in my brain popped up the Polo cologne. And I was like, I don't know about that one, but maybe that's what it is. And I just like had this feeling like, nope, that's what it is. And then I texted my aunt and I was like, it's like weird question. Do you remember what grandpa smelled like?
Like, what was Grandpa's cologne?
Yeah. And she was like, Polo. And I was like, oh, like that just like made me feel so good that I was like, oh, cool, like I got it right, but also like that I like had that connection with him.
My mom says you can practice with her anytime.
Oh my God, I love
I
that.
like had that thought pop into my head and then I've had like chills the entire time you were saying that. She's like, yeah, just tell her. Like, I love helping people practice.
I love that. I would love to work with her. I sometimes I'll work with like Hannah's dad too. Like he loves to help
Mm.
people. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah. If you
been
ever
really
want to do
fun.
a practice medium session
I
with
would
me and
love
like
that.
you can tap into my mom and she's very fun and silly like us.
Yeah.
We'll have an episode of Giggly Witches where we're interviewing my mom via mediumship. No
Yeah.
pressure.
It's really wild because right now I'm trying to learn how to like be able to ask the questions myself. Where like
Mm.
the way that it works the strongest for me right now is like if I tapped into your mom's energy and like you asked me questions.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I'm trying to work on it so that like I
Yeah.
can
I
actually
always
like
kind of had a like a format that I'd follow if I was doing
mm,
I haven't done mediumship in forever now. I don't know. It was like I think I don't know, it was just too close to home. It was too emotional for me.
yeah, of course.
Um but it's such an important job and so special. But I would kind of like go through this almost like an interview process to establish that like I'm in just questions that like would really validate for someone that I'm really
Yeah.
connected before you get into the like, well, they want you to know that they're proud of you, like stuff like
Yeah.
that, right? Like you need to like establish I'm really connected to them. So I would have a like, you know, what's the sometimes people tell you the relationship off the bat, but sometimes they just sign up and are like, let's see what happens. So I'd be like, is it like like how are you related basically? Like what kind of relationship is it like aunt or mom or grandmother
Yeah.
or uncle or whatever? And then I would kind of go into like, okay, well, can you share with me like how you passed or like how long ago or any information like that? And then I'd kind of just be like, is there something else where like it would make them feel really, really confident that this is you. And it would maybe just be
Yeah.
like I don't know, I'd see like a red car and it's like, that was their
Yeah.
car or something like that, you know? And then it would kind of be like, all right, well, now that you know that they're here, because I proved
Yeah.
it to you.
I
Now here's some sweet messages that could be from anybody, but now you know because we went through like that little checklist, you know?
yeah, no, all of that also makes a lot of sense. I guess that's like the evidential mediumship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I like was taught is like to have the like
Yeah.
evidence first. And it's not to like prove a point or like prove you're connected. It's really to just
No.
validate the experience for them and make
Yeah.
them go,
Wow.
wow, that was real.
Yeah.
Because they'll probably feel it, even if they're like, even just going straight into the like, we're proud of you stuff. Evidence might pop up in that too. They're really proud of you because you just finished something recently.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I just graduated, or, you know, like things like that can
Yeah.
still come up. But that was always like kind of like the checklist I was taught and like kind of like found my own version of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love that your
Um,
grandpa showed you the specific cologne. That's
I know.
crazy.
And then
That's
I
so
also
cool.
literally just earlier today had a thing with him too that I don't know why I didn't share this too, but I was like kind of getting frustrated because I was like, I don't know, like I'm not hearing anything, I'm not seeing anything, like
Mhm.
whatever. And then I was like, okay, like let's calm down. And then I was like, okay, I see yellow flowers, which is my grandma's favorite flower, is yellow daisies.
Oh,
Um, and and I was like, and I'm seeing a bee, like a bumblebee. And I was like, I don't know why. Where is this coming from? And then um I had this memory pop into my head. I don't personally remember this because I was like 2 years old, but I've seen like videos of it where there's a video. My grandpa was in town visiting us, and my aunt used to do this thing with me where she would like pick me up and like spin me around and around and around and then put me down and be like, okay, now go walk. And then
that's so funny.
and
You'd be
then
like,
once I like finally caught my balance from that, she would be like, "Oh my God, bee, bee, bee!" And then she would like swat around her face and be like, "Oh, there's a bee, there's a bee!" And then I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And I don't remember this, and I don't remember it even from the video, but apparently my grandpa thought it was the funniest thing. And so I just called my aunt and my mom to be like, "This is what I got from grandpa today." Um, and my mom was like, "He used to think that that was so funny." And he was like, she was like, that's probably why he's showing you that because he
oh,
loved that so much. And I was like, that's so cute that you just showed me that memory. Um,
yeah. He was like, let me show you my favorite memory of you.
yeah. So to my last thing,
Hmm.
this very mindful, very demure trend. I wasn't gonna
Yeah.
share like my deity for a little while until like I felt more comfortable, but she would like to share this message because I lit the her candle today as I was like doing my makeup and getting ready,
Hmm.
and um it started going crazy, and I was like, okay, do you have something that you would like to share? Because normally I just will like light it and be like, okay, like I'm, getting ready in the name of like Aphrodite and like doing my
Hmm.
makeup in the name of
I love
Aphrodite.
that.
Yeah. And it like helps. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, whatever. Um, so my deity is Lady Aphrodite, and she was going crazy. My candle was going crazy. And I was like, okay, cool. So I picked up my pendulum and was like, okay, do you have a message? What is it
Really
about?
chill.
And the podcast popped into my head. And I was like, okay, so what about the podcast? Do you like want me to share something today? Yes. Okay. What was it? And then that sound, that trend popped into my head. And I was like, okay, what about it? And she was like, it puts us in a cage. Like, because being very mindful, being very demure, like, it's like kind of being reserved. And she's
Yeah.
like, we need to
Yeah.
be wild kind of thing.
Love
Um,
that.
like
But I
let your
still want to say it. I love
I
the
think
message and I agree.
and then um and normally like she won't let anyone help me connect with her. Like I have tried when I
Mhm.
first was connecting with her, I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm gonna try and do this meditation because I have a lot of trouble sitting in meditation.
Mhm.
Um, and Hannah, like we talked about, will help walk me through a meditation. And Aphrodite would not say anything, would not talk to me, would not do anything until Hannah left the meditation. And I've been like, okay, like, well, are you here to like help me um develop these like spiritual gifts that I have? Yes. Will you let Hannah help me? No. Will you let anyone help
Mm,
me? No. She's like,
very
this is for you
interesting.
to do. Like, she's like,
Yeah.
you need to be able to do this yourself,
Yeah.
which is
Build the
amazing.
confidence on your
Of
own
course.
too. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And so today, when she was giving me this message, I was like, I don't know if I'm getting this right. So I was like, will you let me ask Hannah about this? And she was like, yes. And I was like, wow, crazy. Um, and so I called Hannah and um she was like, I didn't even have to ask to connect. She's like, I'm here. I've got a message about this. She was like, I don't like it. It puts us in a cage. She's like, let your femininity go. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to be reserved. You don't have to XYZ. She apparently has very strong opinions about
Yeah.
it. But I needed to share that today. She wanted me to share that. And I think she said, Hannah said something. She goes, um, she said, Aphrodite is saying, don't forget that your words are spells. And I was like, oh my God, we just did an episode on that.
Yeah. I have a chill too. Well, I agree wholeheartedly that, and even when you say stuff ironically, your brain doesn't know the difference.
Yeah,
But it's really fun to say. So
it
I
is
am
really
gonna
fun to
take the
say.
risk. I'm gonna say it for, this is gonna be done in a week, let's be honest.
Yeah, I know. Next trend.
I think it's so funny. Well, you know what I love though? That creator, Jules, is gonna
Hmm.
be able to, like, all of the money she like made from these TikToks and
Yeah,
stuff is gonna help her pay to like for the rest of like the money she needs to finish her transition. So like that's
love that.
amazing.
I love
And
that.
we love that.
Yeah,
Um, but I agree, like if
yeah,
you are like making jokes about being broke, or you're ironically saying the demure thing or whatever it is, yeah, like your brain doesn't know the difference, doesn't know
no,
irony, doesn't know sarcasm, doesn't know any of those things. So we do have to, I mean, I used to always joke about being broke or this or that. And the thing is your brain's like, yeah, let me find more
hmm,
proof of that and like let me make
yeah,
sure that's true. So Aphrodite is very right about that.
yeah.
But I'm gonna
Um,
say it a little bit longer. Just a couple more days, Aphrodite.
yeah.
Okay, that'll
The
be
thing that just popped into my
good.
head about it was that it came right after Brat Summer, the Brat Summer
Yeah.
trend, where it was like, okay, like, cool, feel yourself, be this,
Hmm.
do like you do you, like
It's the
for freaking
pendulum
real.
swinging,
It is the
right? But
pendulum
equal and
swinging.
total opposite in a
Yeah.
trend. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is
And I do
interesting.
think it's so funny. And I love the ones where it's like they're doing it like with their dogs. Like I think that's so funny. Like the dog is like just sitting.
Very demure,
Yeah.
very mindful.
It's like not barking at the everything that's happening. Like those are so funny. But that
Yeah,
was just a message I was told to
that's a
share.
good message. Good
And
message.
the other really crazy, sorry, last thing. Um, the last 2 days. Oh,
Hmm.
did you see that? I don't know what
What
that
was
was.
that?
I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe it was a piece of dust.
Do it again. No, it
I
was
don't know.
really bright though.
It
It was
was,
really
but I
bright, but
might
I
have
feel
my
like,
light on.
yeah. Okay, we'll watch it
We'll
back.
watch the replay. Um,
Aphrodite, is that you?
the last couple days, oh my God, I also said something. This was yesterday where I was looking in the mirror while her candle was lit, and I was like, oh my God, like I am so pale, like my skin looks like this, blah, blah, blah. And her candle started going crazy. And I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I was like,
Sorry.
I won't talk bad about myself anymore. And then the candle went back down. And I was like, okay.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with that.
Yeah.
That's so
But
good.
the last couple days, I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do for like makeup? I haven't cleaned my makeup brushes. Like I need to like figure out what I'm gonna do for recording today. And in my head, I didn't even put it together, but in my head, I kept hearing green, use your green eyeshadow palette green, green. And I didn't even realize it until I got off the phone with Hannah, literally 4 minutes before we started recording. And I was like, oh my God, that's what she says in the video is green cut crease.
Oh yeah. I don't do a green cut crease when I go to work. I show
Yeah.
up to the job the way I showed up to the interview. Very mindful.
So I just thought that was crazy. I was like, okay. So then I did the red and I was like, I'm just going to do a little bit, just going to do a little bit. And then I started, and then it ended up having to be this whole thing.
Well, it looks really good.
Thank you.
Everybody get close to the camera. Wow. Incredible.
Color pop, the watermelon.
You know what I started doing? Face yoga.
I've heard about this. And honestly, well, I'll gua sha every morning. Well, I haven't been doing it every morning, but my goal is to do it every morning.
Well, you don't
And
need to over I always say gua sha. It's good, but you be careful you're not like pulling a lot when you do it. Because if you over pull on the face, it can make it saggier.
well, I
So
do
face
right
yoga is
here.
doing like tensing different muscles. So the one I did today was like this. Wait, no, yesterday was like this. And squeezing the apples of your cheeks because it lifts this part. When this is stronger,
Wait,
it lifts
what?
your face up here. Like
Do
this.
it again.
Okay. If you're not watching, I'll try to explain it if you're listening. Okay. So kind of like make your mouth a little bit open and then do a like a O, like with your lips over your teeth. Like when you would, if you were pretending that you didn't have teeth, like you were an old grandpa.
Like this.
Yeah. Like when we were kids, we would do that like, yeah. And then keep your mouth kind of open and then lift up the apples of your cheeks.
Wait, I can't do both at the same time.
Like that. And then the one I did today was similar. Also, if you have lines here, you can go like this while you do it. So you don't make this line deeper. I have it on one side and not the other. My face is just kind of uneven. And then the other one I was doing today, that's for so you don't get a saggy neck. And if you have like any like double chin situation, not that there's anything wrong with that. We love a double chin. Very demure, very
Very
mindful,
mindful.
very cutesy. But it also helps with like a sagging neck. So this is hard, but you have like a soft tongue and you just raise it up. Like the mewing thing. It's
Mhm.
doing that. So you're just flexing that muscle. But at the
Yeah.
same time you're doing that, you're also going like this. Wait, I don't know if I'm doing it. It's
Interesting.
really hard. But
It looks like you're
anyways,
doing it.
I got a set of videos from this woman whose name's Sadie.
Ooh,
Um, and she's like in her 50s and she looks like she's younger than me. And I was like, you could be lying. You could have
convinced.
Botox and stuff, but I
Yeah.
trust you because your
Well, I
name's
started
Sadie.
using castor oil too.
Ooh, I've been wanting to do that.
Yeah.
There's this other woman that shows like the mix she makes with like castor oil plus I don't know if it's jojoba or jojoba oil, whatever,
Yeah.
plus like frankincense. I guess frankincense is really good for
Yeah.
our skin. Also, it smells amazing.
So good.
I literally have that in my Amazon cart because she makes her own little mix that she uses on her face. And her before and afters are also incredible. But just trying to get on that. I don't know. I'm like, my birthday's coming up. I can see I am like, you nitpick yourself.
Yeah.
Everyone always thinks I'm younger than I am. And there's also nothing wrong with aging, but
No.
we're all conditioned to not want to. It's hard,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
sorry,
I
I
got
don't
the
want
bangs to
these lines.
cover.
I know I do have a very expressive forehead. I did get Botox once in Korea and my forehead looked so amazing, but I didn't like how it felt.
Yeah.
It annoyed me. I
I
could feel it constantly.
I always wonder about like doing it in the masseter because my jaw is so tight. But Hannah
Yeah.
was like, just do energy work on it. Like, you know how to do energy work. So just do energy work on your jaw. So I need to try that.
Yeah. I've been clenching my jaw more recently too. Well, I kind of stopped, but I started and I was like, no, no, no. So I started to really think about it every time I
Yeah.
noticed. And I was like, we're not doing this. We're not
Yeah.
starting this new thing. Because I kept being like, like stretching my jaw out all the time because I noticed it started to hurt, and I was like, mm-mm-mm. So I tried to put a stop to that. But anyways, oh my God. Well, I think did we cover everything that
I
you
think
could get to all
so.
your notes? Thank
I
you,
did.
Aphrodite,
I
for
know,
the guest
seriously, thank you.
appearance.
She definitely wanted herself to be known today.
I love
She
that.
checking off all my boxes there.
In your Notion. This
Yeah,
episode brought to you by our Delulu Fantasy. That Notion sponsors us.
I would love that.
You know what? I'm gonna put a link to Notion in the show notes.
Yeah.
Gonna do it. You know what? For all of our 30 listeners. No, I think there's more than that. There's like 100,
Honestly,
but
there will be
yeah, there will be millions.
mil
Did you
million dollars.
see, speaking of podcasts making so much money, which good for them, Call Her Daddy. So, I mean, back up a second. Spotify paid Alex Cooper $100 million to come be Spotify exclusive, right? This was
Wow.
years ago.
Yeah, that
A
I knew.
hundred
I didn't know it
million.
was that much though.
That is so
Crazy.
much money. She just posted that SiriusXM paid her 125 million to move over to their platform.
I didn't even know they had a platform.
I didn't know either. I have no idea what that even means. But she is I watched the clips. I've never watched a full episode, but I follow it and watch the clips. That's all I ever watch. But I love Alex Cooper. I mean, she's just really funny, and she's awesome. But um anyway, that is so much money. Holy
So
shit.
much money. Oh my God.
And she gets paid for being herself,
Yeah,
so cool. Very inspirational.
very
So I was
inspirational.
like, next up, Giggly Witches, $100 million deal.
Yeah, $120 million deal.
100.
I once had this photographer friend. She helped me a lot with like pricing my things. And she was like, anytime I hear someone else's rate, that's my rate now.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, dang, I ain't never thought
So
about
if
that.
Spotify wants to talk to us, we're gonna say, look,
120.
you paid Alex Cooper 100 million. We want 120.
There's two of us.
They're like, ladies, you have 5 Spotify subscribers. That's our ask. It's,
Did you
are
ever
you in
watch
or are you out?
did you, did you ever watch Rock of Ages?
Is that sounds so familiar, so I feel like I have, but I can't, my brain's not
Oh my
computing right
God.
now.
It's just honestly, it's one of my favorites. It's so good. We'll watch it at some point.
Okay.
But it was a Broadway play and then they made it into a movie.
Okay.
And it's all like 80s music. It's really fun.
I'm thinking of School of Rock with Jack Black.
No, that's different.
I have not seen Rock of Ages. I was like, sure, the one with Jack Black and the
Julianne
school
Hough is
kids.
in it. All these people are in it. It's really
Okay.
good. We'll watch it at some point.
Okay.
But anyway, there's one point where he like signs over to this actually spoiler alert, but then he's like in
You're like, this is the end of the movie. Okay, everybody turn it off if you haven't seen Rock of Ages yet. I feel like there's a time period. How long ago was this movie?
Oh, I mean, I was like a freshman in college, so this
The grace period where you get a
over.
spoiler alert has passed.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So um he ends up being like in a boy band because it's like at the brink of like boy band time, you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
past like 80s rock music to like boy bands.
Yep.
And they're called the Z Guys. And then the whole thing is like because I just said, well, there's two of us, and that what popped into my head was double the Z, double the E, double the flavor. It's like how they promote it. Anyway. Anyway, this has been an episode of Giggly Witches.
This coming to you soon from our $200 million deal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that on my vision board.
Mhm.
You know what I do like? Okay, the last thing. One of my favorite manifestation methods is to print off fake checks and write myself checks
Ooh.
and put it on my altar.
I
It's
never
visual,
thought about that.
or I'll make a digital one and put it on my vision board sometimes, or
I
just
love that.
I think I haven't done that in a while. I think I'm gonna make one on Canva. Hot tip: you can just type in like checks in the elements thing, and there's ones in there.
I love that. I'm gonna
And you
do
can
that
fill it
too.
out. Say it's like, say I always write like the universe from the like
Mm-hmm.
who's it from or whatever. I'm gonna put that. I have a little section of my Notion that's for my like sales, and I'm gonna put that at the top, like my um because I have one for like different months. I'm gonna put that at the
Mm-hmm.
top of my month of like what my month goal is or whatever. It's fun. And then every
I
time you
love
open it,
that.
you see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You.
anyways, delete all your social media apps, but before you do, follow us on social
Yeah.
media. You can find us at Giggly Witches on TikTok, Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're subscribed wherever you like to listen. We're on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. And interact. Drop a like, drop
Yeah.
a comment. Spotify, you can comment now, by the way.
Yeah, I
So
saw
cool.
that.
Um, and make sure you're subscribed. Leave a review if you're loving Giggly Witches. Share an episode with a friend if you're loving Giggly Witches.
Yeah.
And you can find me on social media. I am Sadie Olson on Instagram and TikTok. And I have a YouTube channel, Magic with Sadie, that I drop masterclasses and like EFT tapping videos on
Mhm.
Mondays. So you can go check that out. And Pam, what about you?
I am Velvet Snake Oracle on Instagram and TikTok, and I have readings available. There's two options, and one's like a quick mini reading, and the other one is a one-on-one. And I have a tarot freebie for you to download that will teach you all the things about learning how to read tarot for yourself.
Yes, get your tarot freebie. I have a scripting freebie. I saw a lot of people after last week's episode signed up. So let me know how it's going
Love
if you
that.
tried the tarot or the scripting freebie. Also, we haven't pulled tarot cards in a while. So
You
next week we
haven't.
should pull some cards.
Yeah.
Um, thank you for listening.
Yay.
Week
Thank you.
6. That's a wrap. Bye. Not end. Wait, where? Oh, no. We got it.